This one-click automation allows me to 3 times my social media presence. I built out a custom NAN execution, which allows me to post on one platform and then take that post and put it on all my other platforms at one time, which theoretically allows me to triple my reach and my exposure on all my videos. And this is all done with a simple click right after I post a video. So I basically have this pretty cringy TikTok that I made. If I just post this TikTok on my TikTok, if you're not following my TikTok, make sure to go follow me, link in the description. All right, so a couple seconds later, my video just got uploaded. You'll notice I have this custom NAN automation here, which when I run it, pulls my TikTok, trims the caption of my TikTok, downloads the video, and then posts that video to both YouTube and Instagram. And it does this all in a click of a button. I don't even have to think about downloading the video and having to repurpose it on other platforms. It just does this automatically. If I just test this workflow here, you'll see it goes through the steps, post the video on YouTube, and after a little bit, post the video on Instagram. If I head on over to my YouTube channel here, let's go to my shorts feed. You'll notice I have a brand new short right here that just got uploaded, and it's for the exact short that I just made. Look at that. And if I head on over to my Instagram, you'll notice I have a new video here with the same TikTok. Look at that. So this automation here is what we're gonna be building that allows us to do this in one click. But I really wanted to showcase how this works and how I've been using it, because it's been something that I've wanted to build for a long time now, and NAN has finally allowed me to do this. And that's just one-click automation right after I post something on TikTok. You can even edit this to add in things like Pinterest or LinkedIn or Rumble if you're into that, or Facebook. So yeah, let's get started building this automation. I'm gonna build it from scratch, but I'm gonna have this entire JSON structure for this workflow somewhere down in the description below, along with the custom code that we're gonna need in order to post on Instagram. Because actually, in order to post on Instagram via an API call, we're gonna have to set up our own server. And that may scare you, but I'm gonna walk you through the entire process and give you the code for that as well. If you wanna do the same thing, just hold my hand and let's get to this together. If you haven't played around with NAN yet, I'll have a link to one of my other videos where you can go check it out and get a quick crash course on how it all works. But we're basically gonna wanna create a new workflow inside the Workflows tab and get started with our automation. And like I said, this is a one-click automation. We're just gonna start this off with a manual click here. So now it'll start when I run this. And the way I like to run this is not actually automatic, but through a test workflow, because I'm only gonna run it one time after I post. And then from here, we're gonna wanna make an API request to actually fetch our TikTok that we just posted. And to do this, we're gonna use Rapid API. We're gonna be using this API by LLBBMM to get our latest TikTok. This is just kind of the most efficient way that I've found doing it without having to log into your TikTok account. But from here, we're going to want to subscribe to it if you haven't already. This one is kind of expensive, but it gives us a generous 200 calls a month, which is gonna be perfect for what we're doing. Unless we're posting over like 100 TikToks a month, well, we're gonna be fine. And we're gonna use this user-related API in the get user post videos. And this is gonna give us a return feed of all of the videos that we want. And if I click on test endpoint, it'll give us back a response here with 10 different videos. And all of these videos have information about their ID, the title, the cover, the origin cover, the downloaded video. So if we wanna see what the video is, we can just pop the link in here. This API is just super simple to use, and it's been the most reliable one that I've come across. I'll have a link to this one down in the description below. So now let's integrate this into our NAN app. I'm gonna drag out this thing here, and I'm gonna make a new node, an HTTP request node. And this is going to be the same request that we're gonna use from here. And we're gonna kind of use this Node.js to help us out with our information. So we're gonna need to use this URL here as the URL for our API call. We're gonna put that inside of our URL right here. We're gonna use the get method here. We're gonna need to add in some headers, and the headers are going to be our headers right from the API call in here. So I'm just gonna take the API key right here and then put that into the name section here, and then take this API key and then put that into this value here. Then I'm also gonna add one more parameter, and we're gonna do the same thing for the host here, and we're just gonna put that in like so. And now we're gonna need to add in our parameters. And we wanna do just the unique ID and the count. So we're gonna come down and we're gonna set some query parameters. We're gonna make the name unique ID, and we're gonna set that to the value of our TikTok account. I'm gonna use my TikTok account for this example here. And then we're also gonna have to set up count 1. Fantastic. So this is going to be our API call here that we're going to use for getting our latest TikTok. If I test this request, we get an output here. Look at that. I'm going to move me for a second. We get all of our information from TikTok. But I can come into here and I can take this play URL here and we can see it's my latest TikTok video. Look at that. So now we're going to want to take this information and continue on the journey here. And I'm going to kind of copy what I did before and I'm going to use this and I'm going to make a edit fields section here. We're going to actually set a field here to untrimmed caption. And we're going to set the value of this untrimmed caption here to the value of the title. We're going to make the title the caption for the Instagram and also the title for the YouTube video. But like I said, we're going to have to trim this just in case it's too long. So I'll put that in there and I'm going to set all input fields to just only selected fields. This will only display the ones from here. So if I click on test step, now we have our untrimmed caption and we have this. And now I'm going to add one more step here with some JavaScript. And I just want to put some code in here to take this untrimmed caption and then output the trimmed caption. I'm going to ask the AI, I'm going to say, can you take the untrimmed caption and output the trimmed caption with the text, but it only has the first 99 characters and generate code. Let's see what it comes up with. All right, let's test this out. So we have our new little code here. If we test this, we'll get our trimmed caption. Look at that. So now we can use this trimmed caption here as for sure our safe caption for our YouTube title and Instagram caption as well. Okay, so now that we have our trimmed caption, we're going to actually want to take this URL that we get for our play URL here and use this to actually make our output video of our TikTok that we can then use to submit to YouTube. For Instagram, we're just going to need the URL, but for YouTube, we're going to have to actually download the video before we can actually send it. And that means turning it into a kind of like a video file, but stored locally on NAN. So to kind of save us the trouble here, I'll have this file also in the description with all the other files if you want to get this project to work for yourself. This allows us to input the link that we get from TikTok and then output the video in a data form. And you'll see what I mean in a second here. I'm going to copy this node over and I'm going to paste it in here and I'm going to link this up. And if I input this here, you'll see it has a URL and we're just going to remove the URL that was here and then head over to our HTTP request and then pop in our play URL into here. As if we test this step again, look at that. So you can see I can even view it here inside of N8N and it's the actual video, but downloaded that I can use to upload to YouTube, which was pretty sweet. It took me a little bit to get this to work. How I actually did this was I actually used a custom GPT inside of ChatGPT and then asked it, can you turn this URL and actually download the video into a data file? And then it output me this JSON node here to use to then turn it into this. I got kind of crafty with this one and that's why I'm giving you the node. Basically, you can talk to ChatGPT to give you custom nodes to do custom things, which is insane. There's so much you can do with this. I'm actually like going crazy talking about it. But yeah, so that's how I got this node to work. And now all we have to do is just link this up to YouTube. So I'm just going to type in YouTube here and we're going to need to get some credentials in order for this to work. And I'll walk you through that as well. But we're going to want to use the upload a video function here. So we're going to want to set a couple of things. First off, the title. If we go back to our trimmed caption here, we can use this trimmed caption in our title and that will be what we're going to use for this. We can select our region. I'm in the United States. We'll do education and we're going to leave this input binary field as data. And what this will do is this will pull any data from the last node. So it's going to pull this data here and then use that to submit a YouTube video. And then lastly, I'm going to show you how we can get our credentials here. If we head on over to the Cloud Console in Google here, we can head to APIs and services here and click on enabled APIs and services. And we're going to want to enable a couple APIs. First one being the YouTube API. This will allow us to pull and get information about our YouTube channel. So we're going to want to enable this. I already have it enabled. And then we're also going to want to configure an OAuth consent screen if you haven't already. I already have mine, but you're basically going to want to come into here and accept everything and make your credential screen here. We can head on over to credentials and make some new credentials. I'll click on create credentials, OAuth client ID, application type will be web application. We can name this whatever we want. I'll just call it NAN automation here. And then we're gonna need to do one last thing, and that's just to add in our URI. And we're gonna take the link that we got from here, paste it into here, and then create. And now we have our client ID and our secret. So we can take these variables here that we just got from our Google console. We're gonna put those right in here, our client ID and our client secret, and that will give you an option to sign in with Google and then connect your YouTube account. If I sign into my YouTube account here, it might give you something like this. Just go to advanced and continue here, and then make sure you accept all the scopes. And then when you see this, you'll know that your account is connected. We're all ready to go. We can test this step and see output, check mark, and we get our YouTube upload ID. If we head on over to my YouTube account here and I give this a good old refresh, I have a new video being uploaded to my account. But that's pretty much it. We have a very simple automation built out to upload YouTube videos directly off of TikTok. And I have this running on a manual click. So every time I make a TikTok, I just come into here and click the button and then it uploads it to YouTube. But what you can do is have this run periodically every like 6 or 7 hours or so that it checks to see if there's a new video uploaded to your account, and then it can just do the upload automation automatically. But I also want to add in Instagram functionality. And to do this, we're gonna have to set up our own little Instagram hosting platform to kind of do like a hacky kind of way to get our posts to upload to Instagram. We're gonna drag this out and do one last HTTP request here. And we'll come back to this in a second. I wanna show you guys the library that we're going to be using. We're basically going to be using this Node.js Instagram private API client. And what this will do is allow us to use our credentials from our Instagram account and publish videos to our account on behalf of this Node.js library. So we're not gonna need to have to install anything or use any API keys. You literally just put in your username and password and then put in the video, and then it just posts it on the account, right? We're actually gonna set up a little server with glitch.com that'll process our API request, and then it will do this function here with the Instagram private API client and publish our video to Instagram. So I'm gonna head on over to Glitch, and Glitch is like one of my favorite programs for just building super simple, small applications and Node.js projects, and it's perfect for what we're doing in this video. And then I'm just gonna make a new project and make a new Glitch Hello Node project. And now we're gonna need to install a couple of packages in order to get this to work. So to install packages on Glitch, we're gonna head on over to our package.json file here when we make our new Node project. Come here to add package, and then just type in, we want the Instagram private API. I'm gonna install that one. I'm also going to install Bonnie-parser. I'll just add that one as well. Express. I'll install this one as well. Request-promise, I'll install this one. And I think we should be set up to go here. That's all we're gonna need from the packages. And now I'm gonna have this code located somewhere in the description along with all the other code for this project, but it's basically going to be your server-side code. And this code here is going to process our API request and then post our video to TikTok depending on whatever username and password you have for your account here. So I'm just gonna save this, and to get this little server to run, we're gonna come down to the terminal here in the bottom, and you're just gonna wanna type in node server. And if all goes well, what are we missing? We need requests. So let's come into package, add package, and install request as well. Make sure you install request. And now we can type in node server. Look at that, hallelujah. If all things work, you'll get this server running on port 3000. Like I said, this took me a while to put together, but yeah, this means it's all running and it's ready to accept our API calls. All right, for some reason, there's been some glitches with glitch.com, but I've been here for a little minute. But once we have this server port running on 3000, all we're gonna have to do here is just take this share button and we're gonna copy over this link here. If I head over to my NAN workflow, we're gonna use this HTTP GET request here. We're gonna paste in this URL here. And if we kind of take a look at the server here, we're actually gonna be using this endpoint here, this /post to Instagram. So at the end of our URL here, we're just gonna wanna put this /post to Instagram here, and then we're gonna change this get here to post. And that will allow us to post our information to our little server here, which will then upload our video to Instagram. So now we can send our body, and our body will consist of 5 different parameters. So we have our username, our password, and the video URL, the cover image URL, and the caption. So now what we're gonna wanna do is just run our test one more time through all of this here. I'm just gonna click on test workflow and just have it go through everything. And at the end here, it'll fail, but now we'll be able to access our variables. So if I go to get TikTok here, we're gonna wanna put in our video URL, which is gonna be our play URL here. And then we're gonna wanna make this cover image URL, this cover link right here. And then we can make our caption, our trimmed caption that we got from the trim section here, and just put that in here. So now if I were to test this step one more time, and also make sure you put in your username and password. I'm gonna try to hide this. And if I run this code here, fantastic, video posted successfully. Look at that, isn't that great? Oh, you'll love to see it. And there we go, it's on my Instagram account there. I did get an error when I first ran this. I got this like encoding error here, and all I did to fix this was paste it into ChatGPT and then run npm update and then npm clean cache force and npm install, and that seemed to fix it. But there we go. So now we have our fully automated little automated posting thing here. So to test this out, let's record a TikTok and then see if it automatically posts. So I just posted a fresh TikTok on my TikTok page. It's super cringe, but now let's see if this works. I'm gonna test this workflow. It posts to YouTube and it uploads to Instagram. Look at that. Isn't that fun? There we go. We got the new video. And if I refresh this, we get our new video here. Look at that. So I'll have links down in the description below to where you can get this entire JSON structure here for the node, and also the individual one for the trim video, and then also the code to where you can get this server function working for glitch.com. And also one thing I do want to know, you want to make sure you have a caption for your video. I actually tested this and didn't have a caption and got stuck for like a half an hour, but make sure you have a caption so that this doesn't return an error, and then it all works. Look at that. So once again, guys, I'll have links down below to where you can get all these files and implement this workflow for yourself. I know it's kind of a lot, but it really is, for me, the easiest workflow that I can use to automate my TikTok posting. It really is just one click from here on out. All I have to do is just upload a TikTok, click the button, and then it just goes to everything else. Some might say it's kind of a complicated solution for this problem, but to me, it's honestly fit perfectly because I hate having to download the videos and re-upload them. Also, if you want to work with me in any AI or automations projects, make sure to book a free 15-minute call with me down in the description below. We can talk about all that good stuff there. And also, if you want to learn more about NAN and what it can do and how you can build a simple little chatbot, check out my NAN tutorial where I basically go over the entire program and teach you how it works and how to put together a quick little workflow if this didn't teach you enough. So I'll see you guys over in that video.